Yeah. Thugger. Migos. Migos. Thugger. Thugger. Stoner. What are Taurus? I love with Benjamin Frank. Yeah, I got that white like Pee Wee Herman. Got green like Herman. My bitch from Germany. She swerving. I put on the block and she working. What are Taurus? I love with Benjamin Frank.
Hello and welcome back to another video. So I haven't uploaded in a while because of school, but now that it's summer break, I am free to make how many videos I want to. Yeah, so today I'll just be making a standalone video. It won't be based off my previous advanced train tutorial series. And yeah. So today I'll be focusing on track switching and signalization, if you couldn't tell from the title. Yeah, so I have this train model from I'll link his Discord user right now. And yeah, he lent this to me to make this video, so I will, yeah. So what is signalization and how will we make it? So basically, how do train sensors work in real life? They pass through they have sensors underneath the train or somewhere on the train, and when it passes through a certain area, it triggers an event. So what we'll do is we'll add an event or like a part here or there, and depending on the direction of the train, we will detect which sensor. So say we have the sensor right here and we're going forwards, and it detects there's a sensor right here and it detects this. We can do various things such as signaling, playing a sound, track switching, which I'll also be covering today. So yeah, keep on watching. I'll teach you guys. I don't know. Okay, so right now I have a switch model that I made. So here's how I organized it. I had a MISC folder with all the like random parts. Then I had the frame, and then I have all the lights. So I have green, yellow, and red, which I named them G, R, and Y. I also have a sensor right here, which when the train passes through, it will detect, and this will do something. Okay. Now that we have that done, let me actually import some better lighting. This looks ass. Okay, this looks a bit better. So let's go. We have this. I'll just rename this to switch. Or sensor, actually. Sensor. And I will actually put them in a folder. All this sensor. Okay. Now that we have that, we just want to make sure it is centered. And that we have an actual sensor on the train as well. So if I let me see, let me add a part, like, let's see, let's add the detector like this. Okay, let's extend it a bit. There, that's a good enough detector. Make this yellow force field. And let's weld it to the train. Let's put this in the chassis actually. Add a weld constraint from here to the base. Okay. Now that you have that, let me actually extrude your track a bit. Swap sides. There we go. Okay, we just rolled it. Let's do that. Let's turn off can collide. Yeah. So let's just make sure if the train can actually run. Okay. Base and then let's do 5. See if it actually collides. It does collide. Okay. Now we want to so actually it does collide. Let's actually add a couple values into here. So let's do object value and let's call this train. Okay, and we just want to make this the train or no, let's make it the chassis actually. Yeah, okay, chassis. You can just rename this chassis. Okay, let's just rename this the sensor part. Hold on, let me turn off my Discord notifications. Okay, there they are turned off, sorry. And yeah, so let's rename this a sensor. Okay. Let's get to scripting now. So what we want to do first is make sure we detect something from this part. So let's go into service group service and let's call this signal handler. And let's first off by creating a few variables. Sensor equals sensors equals workspace dot sensor. I actually might just time lapse this. Local. No, okay, so let's just loop. Let's just set up. Let me actually create a for loop actually. Sensor compares children. Okay, so okay, so now that I have this, I'll explain what it does. So we declare a variable sensor. We for loop, so we get all the sensors in here. We loop through all of them, and we have a function and a function for each of them. So if they get touched, no, if they get if they get I'm sorry, if they get touched, sounds so weird. If they get hit, It detects if their name is sensor, which we renamed this to sensor. Let me close these scripts. It detects if they're sensors, and then we get the chassis, the value inside here, which is this. So now that we have that, we can edit anything inside here. Okay. We can edit the doors, any of the data, you know. So yeah, it's also like a step to making a automatic train system. But I'll leave that to another video. Okay, so I'll just purely focus on signalization and track switching. So what I actually want to do is go into sensor and create an attribute actually. A string attribute, and I'll call this function. Since I want to have different functions, so one can be switching the tracks left to right, one can be like switching whatever. So I have different functions for everything, and I'll call this track switching. Okay. And I will just create a new object value, and I'll call this function model. Okay, we will reference this to the track switching part later. But now let's test if this code works. Let's test it. So let's just print it, and let's print part hit. Open output. Oh my god, I'm actually so sick. Okay. Let me. Okay. By 5, 10 actually. It hits and it says part hit. Okay. It gets hit by this, and it works. So now what we want to do is get the function model and the function track switching. So local function, so it's an attribute, so let's get attribute. So local function equals sensor get attribute. Oh no, get attribute function, and local function model equals sensor get attribute function model. Let's do dot value. Okay, so now we have those. We want to check let's create a new function folder. So how do I function? I don't know what to name this. I'll just call this methods actually. Okay, okay, let's create the actual functions. I'll call this track. So what should I call this? So track switching. And that equals a function. Yeah, okay. Now that you have that, we can make more functions, but I will just stick to this one right here. And we want to have a few arguments or parameters. I don't know what you call this. And first, okay, let's check if there's the actual methods. So if methods function function, then methods function. Hold on. Let me look at my code for a second. Hold on. Okay, let me actually look into main, because this is what I'm basing it off of. Okay, so yeah, I add parentheses here. Okay, Roblox is being annoying again. Let me reopen this. Okay, so if it finds the function, then it runs the function. So let's do print track switch. Okay. Yeah. So let me see if it hits this. Okay, if it hits this, let me change the this to track switching, and let's see if it prints the thing. Okay, so let me base linear velocity, let's do 15. Attempt to index nil with value. Sensor, oh, get children. No, wait for child. That's not an attribute, my bad. Okay, chassis space linear velocity 15. Track switch. Now, if we just change the function to like signaling, it won't. Actually, let me just always set this the base to 15 linear. It won't print anything because it's the wrong attribute, and we don't have an attribute set for that. Okay, let me redo the attribute. Track switching. And I'll show you how to make an actual track for track switching. Let me time lapse this. Okay, that was a short time lapse, but yeah. Okay, so we want to group the. So this is how I usually do track switches. You have the A, which is the original track, and you have the B, which is the track that diverts from the track switch. So let me group all of this together. Okay, and I will actually make a new folder for track switches. Let me change pivot. Actually, I don't want to. Okay, still not pivoted. Okay, there we go. Okay, we don't have. Let's make this in a new folder actually, and I'll call this track A, or track switch A, and I will put all these tracks into that folder, get rid of that, and then I'll name this. Okay, I just realized I stopped recording like 5 minutes ago, but it's fine. I have these track switches, I have the sensor. I don't know if I already scripted this, but here's the code. It basically functions this, and it checks if it has a function, and it does the function. Checks for A and the B, it checks for the switch, which we put into here, which is a string value, and then I have this code inside here which checks if it's changed, and if it's changed, Then it changes from A, which is the straight track, to B, the 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 track that's deriving from A. And yeah. So this code. Yeah, so we have a function model here, and that basically gets the function model. And let's make it track switch 1 actually. So right now it's that. If I change the switch to A, I think it works. No. Oh, function model track switch 1. Get rid of this actually. Let me test this. Hmm? Hold on. Oh, wait. Let me actually debug this. Hold on. Oh? Oh, I'm stupid. Now it should work. There. What? Hold on. Oh. Gotta get rid of this actually. And then if I select this, the track switch changes to B. There we go. There we go. It works. And yeah, so this is how you actually do it. I don't know when I stopped recording, but it works now. It should. No. 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 Why not working? Why not working? Let me test this. It is B. Does check if it's changed. I'm sorry if this spoils long. This is like my first take of this video. I don't want to do any more takes. Okay, so it does. Oh, I reversed the code. Put this here. Put this here. Now it should work. Now it should work. Yes, there we go. Track switch. I don't know why it did that. Let me extend this. Okay, let me make this faster now. At least. What the freak? What the freak? Let me. Okay, but it works. It works. I don't know what's up with this bogey actually, but it works. It works. Now I will make another function just to demonstrate. I don't know when I cut off, but here is the code. I basically run the function. I check if the function I have a attribute here, and it's called function, and I basically find the function in here. It's just so it's easier to implement new features for the signaling. But yeah, and then we have to switch here. So let me make a new method, and I'll call it signal. Okay, and I will just function. Yeah, I need a model. Okay. The function model, I guess we can just make it the sensor. So local signal equals model dot equals model. Okay. So I'm not gonna make this too complicated, so I'll just like, let me just do model dot r dot material equals enum dot material dot neon. And then we just want to make sure all of the other materials are glass. And then we test dot wait however seconds, and then we change the we can change this to neon and then this to glass, and wait a couple more seconds, and then we can change green to neon and then the rest to glass. Let me redo this sensor to signal, and let me test it. So hopefully it should work. It didn't. Oh, it did. It did. And then it switches from red to yellow to green. I already have like for this from my other game. There's a front signal, there's a previous signal. So if I hit this, then the previous signal would turn like yellow or something. But yeah, this is just signaling, and yeah. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I'm gonna look back at the footage and see what I missed. But yeah, I should really change the keybind for my recording, cause yeah. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.